Mr. Speaker, I've been inundated with emails and calls from people telling me their UC horror stories. The self-employed older woman who's worried she's going to lose her business and her home when she goes on to Universal Credit. I've had so many from people who are self-employed, you would not believe it, Mr. Speaker, and they are really, really concerned about what it's going to mean to them. A private landlord who is worried that 3 of his tenants are thousands of pounds in rent arrears under Universal Credit, although they'd never been in rent arrears before. Southwark Council are estimating on average arrears of approximately £1,700 per Universal Credit tenant. Disabled people isolated and alone as support from severe disability premiums disappear, along with other disability support. Food banks, as I've mentioned, running out of food. Even current and former DWP advisors expressing their deep concerns about the programme and the fate of claimants. So I come back to my asks. Firstly, end the 6-week wait. Bring it forward by at least 1 week. If it's 2, as widely reported, that would make a huge difference to people. Secondly, ensure that alternative payment arrangements are offered to all claimants at the time of their claim. To suggest that this already happens is more than a little disingenuous. The DWP guidance is vague to say the least. The alternative payment arrangement options include fortnightly payments, split payments and payments directly to the landlord. I won't, I'm sorry. Thirdly, reconsider closing 1 in 10 job centres at the same time as rolling out this programme. It's absolutely nonsensical that this is happening at the same time. Finally, given the latest assessment from the OBR, which shows that it's projected a 5% underspend in tax credits equivalent to £660 million, will the government commit to investing this back into the programme, for example, to eliminate the 2-child limit? Can I also remind him about my earlier question on lifting the social security freeze from 2020? All of this, Mr. Speaker, is reason for the government to respect the will of the House, this country's elected representatives, and pause Universal Credit full service rollout. I stand ready to work with them in the national interest to address these issues and avert the disaster that is Universal Credit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.